So, Mark, did you see the sphere with Doritos all over it? It's like they heard me talking on the last show. Vegas is healing.
I mean, I can't blame them for taking advertising money. That's the name of the game, and I'm sure they got paid a decent amount for that. But I do feel like they kind of mailed this one in. It's maybe the worst sphere display I've seen.
Come on, Mark. Everything is better when it turns into a Dorito.
I didn't think they could find a thing worse than the Dorito on the side of Luxor, but they did.
So happy Friday, everyone. It is the 4th of July coming up, 250th birthday of the United States. And we had a big birthday here in Las Vegas. Station Casinos, Mark, turned 50 on July 1st. That was the date that the casino opened up. That eventually turned into the Bingo Palace, which turned into Palace Station, which spawned this company building so many resorts over the years. Boulder Station was the second one, then came Sunset. They went into the luxury market with Green Valley Red Rock, had some stumbles along the way like Palms, came back triumphantly with Durango. So many casinos around Las Vegas, and a historic company. And they also debuted a new logo that looks a lot like the old one.
Yeah, do you think they had they should do like a Who's on First skit, but with the casino? Do you think that confused people back in the day when they're like, I'm going to the casino? Yeah, but which casino? No, the casino.
It didn't last very long. I think it was Bingo Palace within a year. So maybe that was the thing. It just didn't make sense, or I don't know. Bingo Palace was just a very different property than the Palace Station that we have today. They also celebrated with a very cool drone show, debuting their new logo, everything else. And we'll talk about some of the fireworks shows they have going on this weekend as well. But we talk about Vegas culture, how it's weird. We go to movie theaters in the casinos, bowling alleys, and Station Casinos is center to so many people's lives here.
No, and they've been spending a lot of money and time updating their properties, kind of modernizing them. And Durango is the crown jewel of that, because it's all brand new in the last couple of years. So I do think that a refresh. This looks like a more modern, even though it's a throwback to the old logo. It is a more modern one, a cleaner looking logo. I'm kind of partial to the old one. It feels riverboat-ish, but I don't know that ties in as well to what they're trying to do now.
Yeah, I think the new logo looks a lot like the Bingo Palace logo. They achieved that. I don't know that it drives anything for me, but they definitely want to go back to their past, so I get it. Overall, just a crazy company. They've changed a lot over the last few years. They dumped the Fiestas, the Texas Station. An interesting story in the history of this company is Frank Fertitta Jr., who owned Station Casinos, went off on his own, built Texas, which eventually, before it opened, became Texas Station when the company forced him to sell it to them.
That's why the saying goes, don't get into business with your family.
I think it's worked out okay for the Fertittas. I just got to say that. I think it's been okay for them. But yeah, truly transformative company. Of course, the local casinos, there's the good and the bad. And we should mention that too, because they play a part in all of it. So let's take a time machine back to 1982. And I saw SimaCorp share this incredible panoramic shot of the Las Vegas Strip, and it covers just about everything. And so much to see here, Mark. This is the year I was born, and Las Vegas was so different. You can see the difference in the scale because you're at elevation, fewer buildings everywhere, gas stations everywhere. You got that Harrah's riverboat frontage. Indeed, it was the Holiday Inn at that point in time. Caesar's Palace's moving walkway, the dunes, you can just see how it cornered right on Flamingo. So many good things there.
Sound like Caesar's Palace.
I didn't want to have to say it again.
No, it is cool to see the throwback and just like how massive the space looks back then and how empty it is compared to now. Everything's kind of filled in. It just doesn't give you the same scope of the space we're dealing with. So that's cool to see. I mean, some of the throwback signs and seeing what is Harrah's now as the riverboat. We've talked about that several times and how I wish they had kept that going. But of course, the Holiday Inn Tower there with that awesome pool in the back. The one thing I take away from this, or the main thing I miss or would love to have seen, is the Dune sign. I mean, it's so iconic. I wish somebody would bring back some of these old names, these old marquees, these old signs. Like the first person that's like, all right, we're going to bring back something from the 60s and recreate it and build it new, I think would really win the arms race in Las Vegas.
Yeah, the signs were a big deal in Las Vegas, and they were part of the architecture. Paul Steelman, in that interview with the Plaza Pod, talked a lot about that, how now in the era of screens, and he talked about that Caesar's screen, that monstrosity, which has no architectural value. It's just a big screen. And they used to design the signs, and that was a big part of Las Vegas.
that's what we all love. That's why it's so cool that they're saved in the boneyard at Neon Museum. And there's so many classic signs and names that they just don't use, like Mirage. Now, if somebody brings back the Mirage, that's going to be exciting. Dunes, Riviera, Stardust.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about that. You know, with Mirage, there are a lot of people want MGM to bring that name back. They will get the name back from Hard Rock. They may already have it back. And they want Mandalay Bay. Mandalay Bay is a 30-year-old property. And yet, why does that brand not catch on and people want the Mirage to come there? It is very weird. Stardust, we hear so much. And I think everybody would love a new Stardust.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. I mean, it'd be packed from day one.
Let us know down below, you know, Mirage, do you want that to come back? Why would you not love the Mandalay Bay name? Why do we not have the same attachment to some things that we have with the others? I'd love to hear it. With that said, Mandalay Bay, make it the Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, bring some juice back to that. I love that property. I think it's one of the more undervalued ones in Las Vegas, and it has a lot to offer. It's just the location kind of hurts it. But yeah, if they rebrand it as Mirage, people would all of a sudden discover it again, I think.
In a second, we're going to talk about why Vegas field trips hit different. But before we do, I'd love to invite you to subscribe. Thousands of you are watching the show who aren't subscribed. I could stop talking about it if you just hit the button. Thanks in advance. But Mark, I came across this on my YouTube Shorts feed, Vegas field trips, and I just love the humor in all of this. At one point, the lady on the bus says, "Mason, this is not an ashtray. This is an ashtray," showing a proper Vegas ashtray. When did humans build the pyramids? The 1990s. The wheel on the roulette goes round and round, singing that on the bus. This is a great skit.
Yeah, she did a really good job with it. Brought in a lot of what the Vegas that we love, and it's kind of fun to see. And I was thinking when I saw it that it was going to be like the real, okay, this is the things we did on the field trip, but this is better than that.
No, and that ties into Vegas culture and casinos. We talked about station casinos, how to be a local is a little bit different. And some of our community activities do revolve around casinos, and we got to teach them young. You know, everybody needs to know that the pyramids were indeed invented in the 1990s. There's so many other things in that, though. I didn't want to spoil it all. You guys should absolutely check it out. I'll put a link down in the description.
Yeah, we just go to Cedar Point around here for our class trips.
That's boring. So we have a follow-up on the story we talked about Gold Spike selling a few shows ago. And Gold Spike's very interesting. It was bought by Tony Hsieh and the Downtown Project, and they stripped all the machines out when they bought it over a decade ago, but they kept the gaming license. And so there's speculation as to whether the new Gold Spike with the new owners who are not casino operators will have gaming. And we don't have anything concrete to say other than Vital Vegas was going back and forth, and he says he heard from an inside source that gaming is more than likely coming back there. We don't know. This is just rumors, but I think I'm kind of excited for that. I never really got to spend a lot of time in Gold Spike as a casino, and I do like the vibes in there. And if done right and it doesn't turn into like a dive casino again, I think this could be good.
Hey, a dive casino is great too. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, in that area, dive casinos, they have a history that's not my favorite. But yes.
You mean a toilet?
Stage door. Yeah, like the Western Hotel for people who know that. But yeah, stage door dive casinos, I do dig that vibe. Yeah, we'll see.
I think it makes sense. I mean, we've seen how much it deteriorated in value when they pulled the gaming out, what it sold for, and now it just got purchased for like half of that, or more than less than half the price. So bringing gaming back would be a way to kind of make money off of this purchase right from the get-go, and maybe they can bring in an outside company to run it for them if they've never dealt with gaming. And I talked about on the previous show how I was sad. I was planning on going there, and they stopped the gaming right before our trip, and I really wanted to check it out. So I'd be very excited if they turn this back into a casino.
It should be pointed out that Downtown Grand, we've talked so much about it. We even did a little bit of a tour on a recent show. It is empty. It's really struggling. And so, you know, Gold Spike, is it easy enough to get people to come to play off of Fremont Street?
Put the machines in there and they will come.
So many casino owners have said that and then failed. Bankruptcy court is lined with those well wishes, but good to see that coming back, and excited for the development there in downtown Las Vegas. But let's go to another local casino, the M, the official hotel and casino of the Raiders, and so many other things. And also,
I love that you bring that up every time, and I don't think anybody cares.
They pay me 50 cents every time I mention it. But Emeril is opening his new restaurant there, Meril. This was announced last year, and they announced an opening date July 16th. I was just over there, and I got you this exclusive first look. There was a security guard right there, and I snapped this picture and ran away. And so therefore, not the best first look. But it does show you how open this is going to be. Very bright, airy, near the pool area, windows. This is going to be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it looks good from what we can see here.
Yeah, I'm glad to get that background, because when I saw the picture, I thought you were having a stroke or something. I was like, what is it?
I had to put it through the curtain, and there was a mean security guard right there. There you go. It's going to be open in a couple weeks. People can see it for themselves. I was surprised, though. I think it looks great.
Yeah, I think it's nice. I think that's a good name for the M to get, and maybe a little bit past his prime as far as being like on TV. But I remember watching him, 20 years ago, maybe more than that, with his BAM and all that. I've always enjoyed his shows. I've never eaten at one of his restaurants, but I think they're pretty well reviewed. So this will be cool to check out, and kudos to him for still, out there grinding it.
Grinding away in Vegas.
That was a weird way to end.
Meril is the name of Emeril's daughter. That's what it's named after. But yeah, it's good to see this kind of a more approachable version of his food. Like I said, breakfast, lunch, dinner, liking it over at the M. And I was over there for World Cup and also at Sunset Station this week for World Cup. And I just thought it would be good to highlight. Remember, M came out with that $5 top shelf pour promotion. And I was walking by that lounge that we spent some time at when you were over at the M. And it was a great place. They had the games going. And then also Sunset Station has those $2 margaritas, all their drink specials. And that sportsbook is incredible as well. Both those places, I enjoyed watching parts of the World Cup. And all the station casinos have specials. There's so many specials around town. Maybe one of the best towns outside of the Strip, I'm talking, for this type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for $5, that's great to just sit there and have top shelf, watching the games and enjoying yourself. And we really did enjoy that lounge. It was great service in there. They had a live band going while we were there, and really comfortable. Definitely worth checking out. I know that you did this whole segment just so you could show off that sexy carpet, though.
Yeah, the Sunset Station. I do like that. That's the red version of the carpet at Durango's sportsbook. But yeah, I like starting the video there with the little carpet action. You gotta feed the people. They love to see it. Just like they love to talk about M being the official hotel of the Raiders.
No, nobody. You should do a thing where you walk around the Strip and ask like locals, or not even the Strip, go to DTS and ask locals, what's the official hotel of the Raiders, and see if they know.
What's better, the new Station Casinos logo or the new DTS logo? As a reminder, we have our Patreon. If you want to see us unhinged like this more often, check us out on Patreon. We do our weekly after show, more bonus content. Just did a Vanderpump room tour, all of that going on. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. And thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So a couple other quick things I wanted to talk from my personal experiences. Esther's Kitchen Pizza. I finally got to try that. I had a credit card credit I had to use on the last day, so we got it to go. So I didn't get to eat it fresh there, but their sourdough pizza, it was really good. I give it like an 8 out of 10, and that was eating it, after it had been quite a while since it was cooked. So I need to get back in there. The sourdough bread there is so good. I've eaten there before, talked about it. What a great restaurant. It didn't seem like they were very happy to do the to-go order for my wife.
That is kind of crazy to hear. And I went in there just to try to buy a gift card to use the same credit. And they're like, we don't do gift cards anymore, which I thought was strange as well. But it was packed. It was beautiful space inside. I've been wanting to try that pizza. And definitely, if it's an 8 out of 10, after it's been sitting in a box, it's probably closer to like a 9 out of 10 when you're eating at the restaurant.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about was Cinnaholic. I've been living down the street from this place for like 7 years and avoided getting these cinnamon rolls because of the diabetic coma that they promise. But finally did it, got a special and got these 6, and it was like a dealer's choice. So they take the basic cinnamon roll, they add all the stuff to it. And there's a couple locations around Las Vegas. This was pretty good. I'd say about 7.5 out of 10. I've had better cinnamon rolls, but not many better ones. And I like this, like the kind of making it like a donut.
Yeah, it looks kind of like crumble cookies got into cinnamon rolls, but it definitely, the logo should say diabetes in a box.
It really is. And that's why it took me 7 years to finally try it. And I still have shame and regret, but there you go. It looks pretty good. It tasted really good as well. But let's talk Vanderpump, Mark. Next week, I'll talk about the rooms, and more specifically on Twitter, it sort of blew up talking about the side tables. So I'll show those here really quick. These side tables, are they creepy or are they cool?
Yeah, they're a bit creepy. I mean, she does have beautiful eyes, so I guess that's okay. I don't know. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, some of the responses on Twitter were, interesting. And they say, I'll put that out in the hallway. I was like, well, there's two of them, but we'll talk more about the room next time. I did want to talk about the digital key though, because this is the first property from Caesars to feature the digital key. And, I did the whole digital check-in experience in the app, worked pretty good. The early check-in was interesting. You could check in early up to 6 a.m. on the day of check-in. And from like 6 a.m. till noon, it was $30 for early check-in. And then it was $20 from noon till 4. So, if you got there at 6 a.m., that's not a bad deal at all. But the app will never allow you to get your room before the actual check-in time. So if you're trying to like hope that they'll get your room ready early, it won't happen. But there is now a digital key. You can go through the whole thing, add it to your Apple Wallet. When I tried to do that initially, it didn't work. Eventually, like I revisited it hours later, I was able to get it in my Apple Wallet. And at the property, it did not work for the elevator and it did not work for my room. So try again, Caesars.
Well, this goes with all my issues with mobile check-in in Vegas and kiosk use, and it usually says no rooms available even when it's 7 p.m. at night. So I end up going to the line anyways and dealing with a person. And if you want to check in early, if that $30 is not a bad deal, but I would still go to the desk and say like, hey, just here, and see if they offer it. So a lot of times they'll just give it to you for free if they have a room available, or if you're nice, they'll just be like, hey, I'll get you in, don't worry. If they come at you with a different price, you can be like, well, it's $30 in the app. Can we do it for $30 and go from there?
Yeah, it's not a bad price at all, especially if you are getting there super early. It's nice that they allow that. But I could not get the digital key. I've used digital keys on my phone in many, many other hotels, and I couldn't get it to work. Wasn't a problem to go get a key at the front desk. Just thought I would cover that experience. And yeah, it was a good time over at Vanderpump, and we'll talk more about the room because I do have a lot to say about that. But Mark, 4th of July is happening on Saturday. And we have the stuff going on all around the country, obviously, the big fireworks show on the National Mall. But outside of that, I'm not sure anybody's doing it as big as Las Vegas. In addition to the 8 properties on the Las Vegas Strip that are doing fireworks, and this is the whole summer of fireworks, so every Saturday we basically have them. But they're doing the full New Year's Eve type show on Saturday night. Plaza's doing their fireworks downtown. Station Casinos is doing fireworks at 6 of their properties for their 50th anniversary. I think there's a show out in Boulder City. There's parades in Boulder City and in Summerlin. So there is so much going on. But from the fireworks perspective, I think we're going to have like 17 or 18 big shows all on July 4th. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, if you love fireworks, this is the place to be. And I know there's people that don't and are probably upset about this and have pets and all those things. But hopefully you can get through it. After experiencing the New Year's Eve being down on the Strip, it was really cool to witness there. But you do kind of miss the different perspectives. You don't get to see all of the shows. You get to see the one that you're closest to and things like that. I really do think if you can get into Legacy Club, I'm sure it's probably booked up or whatever. But man, that's got to be the best view in Vegas.
I'm kind of thinking that this might be a way to get the New Year's Eve vibes without all of the craziness of New Year's Eve. I don't think it's going to be as insane on the Strip. Maybe it will be. Maybe I'm just completely wrong and it's going to feel like New Year's Eve. And it's hotter too, which is not as good. Although it was rainy on New Year's Eve when we were there last year, which wasn't, cold and rainy isn't the best. But maybe this is a chance to go see all of that. Now, there is an article from the LVCVA that has like the best pools and rooftops and everywhere to see all the different shows. They did a really good job on saying, hey, I want to see this show. This is where I should go. And for, the Station Casinos is selling VIP tickets for some of their like Durango, Red Rock, and GBR, but they also have free viewing from all their parking lots and stuff like that. Basically, you could just stumble and come across fireworks. And that's not to mention all the illegal fireworks, which just get crazier every year. And I have to imagine this year is going to be insane.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't go out for like a week for people that are trying to work and get up in the morning and everything like that. Shoot them off for your 1 or 2 nights this weekend. Enjoy the 250th. It's a monumental celebration. Do they close down the street on the Strip like they do for New Year's, or is it going to be traffic like normal?
I was doing the research before the show. I could not see anything that said it was going to close, which is definitely different from New Year's. It doesn't mean that there won't be closures, but you would think that they would be announced by now. I looked at the official sites and stuff like that. So maybe a little bit more low key in that way. And again, it's hot too. So, it's just a whole different vibe. But I do think a lot of people who wouldn't go for New Year's, maybe they would be willing to do it for 4th of July.
Get your water from the guys in the coolers on the overpasses.
Or go to the CVS. And don't forget to sing the theme song of America's 250th. Mark, what is it?
America, F yeah.
There you go. just sing it. Got it in my head now from the last show. I hope all you guys are enjoying it. And, you know, this is a pretty cool country. A lot of craziness in the world, a lot of craziness on the internet and all of that, but a pretty cool country. And we weren't there for the 200th birthday, the bicentennial in 1976. So this is our chance to say we did it.
Yeah, dip something in ranch this weekend. Celebrate.
Ranch with your air conditioning, blast that stuff. Take joy in the fact that we have all of the abundance here. I don't know, but happy birthday, America. I've traveled all over the world. You're a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's always great to come home.
So let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today, the 4th of July fireworks. Where in America are you going to celebrate the 250th birthday? Are you going to be in Vegas? Which show are you going to check out? Station casinos, such a big part of local culture. Does it matter which is your favorite property? Gaming at Gold Spike, the pizza at Esther's Kitchen. Leave a comment down below. We do 3 shows a week, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July. Stay safe. Have fun.